Hello from Innsbruck Hauptbahnhof in Austria. I'm gonna get the S6, so I promise this is a normal S-Bahn video, just about the Innsbruck S-Bahn and nothing else. So let's get a normal Innsbruck S-Bahn train. That's a Deutsche Bahn train, and that says Munich. Let's take the S6. So why is this train having an identity crisis? Is it an S6 or an RB6? Is it an Austrian train or a German train? Is it going to Garmisch-Partenkirchen or Munich? Let's uncover the secrets of this odd little train. The Tyrol S-Bahn S6 and Bavarian regional train RB6 both belong to a collection of lines known as the Werdenfelsbahn, serving the foothills and mountain regions in the Austrian state of Tyrol and the German state of Bavaria between Innsbruck and Munich. If you look on a map, the S6 travels generally northwest, though not in a straight line as it winds its way through the Alps, from Innsbruck Hauptbahnhof or Innsbruck Central Station to Garmisch-Partenkirchen, a small, charming Bavarian town not far over the German border. RB6 trains, on the other hand, run from München Hauptbahnhof or Munich Central Station south to Garmisch-Partenkirchen, with some trips extending all the way to Mittenwald, the last station on this section of the Werdenfelsbahn before crossing into Austria. So, on the map it looks like the S6 and RB6 overlap from Garmisch-Partenkirchen to Mittenwald. But the maps, even the official Tyrol and Bavaria rail maps, are a little misleading, and the Werdenfelsbahn holds a secret that I only learned of towards the end of my time in Europe. On some extended trips, including the one I'm on, the RB6 and S6 are the exact same train, running the entire distance between Innsbruck and Munich. And you'd think a direct Innsbruck to Munich regional train is something you'd want to show on a map. And at least the Bavarian map has a little arrow at the end of the line pointing to Innsbruck, but this is a little ambiguous, and the RB6 and S6 are never co-signed on this map. The Tyrolean map is even worse, not showing the RB6 or even a rail line towards Munich at all from Garmisch-Partenkirchen, but rather just an arrow pointing in that general direction. So why not show this as one train on the map and sign it as such? Well, firstly, for many trips along the line, the train doesn't run the entire route, terminating in either Scharnitz, Austria, in the case of the S6 coming from Innsbruck, or perhaps Garmisch-Partenkirchen or Mittenwald, Germany, in the case of the RB6 coming from Munich. Another reason why this train might not show up clearly on the map is because the Werdenfelsbahn route between Innsbruck and Munich is slower, taking nearly 3 hours than taking the RAX2 from Innsbruck to Kufstein to connect to the RB54 from Kufstein to Munich, which takes around 2.5 hours. And this seems to be the preferred routing on the map, as even the Austrian map shows the Bavarian RB54 in the direction of Munich from Kufstein. It would make more sense to route passengers down the faster rail line, and this is probably what the map is subtly trying to show here. Additionally, you can't ride this whole line on national pass tickets like the Deutschland ticket, smaller daily or weekly passes like the Bayern ticket in Bavaria or the Tyrol weekly ticket on the Austrian side. You can, however, stay on the train if you simply have a ticket for the whole journey, or a combination of the above tickets, which is what I did, combining my monthly Deutschland ticket with a Tyrol weekly ticket. It's worth noting that the German section of track from Mittenwald to Garmisch-Partenkirchen does accept Tyrolean network-wide tickets, which would include my weekly pass. The scenery as you leave Innsbruck is stunning. Shortly after departing the central station, the line swings in a new direction, up. The train crawls up the side of a mountain, offering amazing views at the left side of the valley below. And if the trees weren't so close to the tracks and in frame, some of this footage might otherwise look like it was taken from an airplane. I rode this train line at sunset, so it was only light until I got up into the mountains. The last of the sunlight disappeared around Cited in Tyrol, and from there it was dark the rest of the way to Munich. And I probably would have loved to have ridden this train in the daylight, but I was busy doing other things. But that's an adventure for another video. And I couldn't ride this pseudo S-Bahn train another day after this, because my train was the last one to travel the whole line from Innsbruck to Munich before a month-and-a-half-long track closure began in Austria for maintenance and line improvements. But as of today, the 1st of September 2025 though, the entire line is open again and running between Innsbruck and Munich. We passed into Germany after stopping in Scharnitz, but it was night by then, so it looked something like this. Shortly after, we reached Garmisch-Partenkirchen, which, if the platform departure signs in Austria are to be believed, should be the last station for this train. But as you know, this train has other plans, and we continue all the way to Munich. From Tutzing onwards to München Hauptbahnhof, the RB6 shares the same line as the Munich S6, so this technically means that the Tyrol S6 eventually runs onto the same line as the Munich S6, despite Munich and Innsbruck being hours apart from each other. Though in all fairness, S6 trains from Innsbruck that become the Bavarian RB6 run express here, while the Munich S6 is a local service along this part of the line that does not through run into Austria. Plus, the RB6/Tyrol S6 combo train stops at the above-ground platforms at München Hauptbahnhof, while the Munich S6 serves the underground platforms. And once I got to München Hauptbahnhof, my train was somewhat surprisingly still signed as RB6/S6. It's crazy to think that this Innsbruck and Tyrol S-Bahn train, which is I guess really just a Deutsche Bahn train in disguise, took me through the Alps, across an international border, and about 3 hours away to Munich. And it's even crazier to me that this train is signed and operated like it's such a secret. It's not obvious on maps or at the station, but it definitely exists. And you should take a ride on it, or any of its variant services that run on the Werdenfelsbahn, if you get the chance. It's a beautiful way to see the Alps up close and personal, and it goes through some wonderful places along the way. I can personally recommend Munich, Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and Innsbruck, and I've heard only good things about Mittenwald. And let me know in the comments if any of you have ridden this train or any train that's part of the Werdenfelsbahn before. And consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.